Hello, everybody. This is Justin Case of American Newscape. Rejoining our friend and media personality, Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of Meatball Therapy. And we already have him laughing, and we don't know why. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back to American Newscape.
I'm here, man. What
Bear,
the hell am I laughing about? I have no idea. I have no idea. But yes, thank you for having me, my psychotic self, and I'm happy to be here as always every week.
it amazes me. You and I both, claim psychosis from time to time, but we're here trying to help others.
Well, I consider myself just a portal of information, and people can grasp it, they can listen to it, they can acknowledge it or ignore it. It's at that time because there's so much information out there. I love how we present it in a way where it's understandable without the esoteric language, a little bit of humor, and some neurosis mixed in once in a while. It's all good. We just kind of get crazy once in a while. It's all
Yep.
good.
And laughter. It's important we laugh our way through some of these
Oh
subjects
God, and no
because,
edits. No edits. No, no,
well, people don't understand editing is work.
no. Well, that's why we have Opus. That's why you and I love Opus, man. Hand it off to the next guy. It's all good.
All right. All right,
I love
Jerry.
it.
Jerry, why are we
Yes.
here today? Why are we here?
This was a profound epiphany for me many months ago when I realized through Carl Jung and his philosophy. He was a Swiss psychiatrist, and he focused a lot on synchronicities and how what we attract in life by our thoughts. It may sound like a broken record to a lot of you guys, but it really isn't. When something doesn't feel right, and we've spoken of this many times on here, something doesn't feel right, it's not going to be right. Red flags are is just our way of saying to the world, don't do it. But what synchronicities are in life is our thought about ourselves that are attracting those red flags to us. It's us evolving. You and I were talking about evolving, how we've evolved through all these episodes on here. And it's amazing how when you learn to see what you're attracting, those are your red flags by your thoughts about yourself, by your thoughts about life, by your thoughts about what you can do. That's called the law of correspondence, and that goes back to the Emerald Tablet and their philosophy back then, which is quite extraordinary. But we are just a mirror. A lot of us have heard this in the most redundant ways, and we've talked about this a lot. But until we grasp that we are just a mirror of our thoughts, projecting out every day, well, we'll realize what we're attracting every day. And that epiphany came to me many moons ago, and I realized all I have to do to really acknowledge life the way I want it was to think about the way I want it. And then from that thinking came the feeling, and the emotions got involved. And those red flags seemed to disappear. In other words, I wasn't attracting what I didn't want anymore. I was only attracting what I wanted to become.
I wonder if that's conscious or subconscious, Jerry. I mean, do we do that? Do we
Oh,
recognize that?
yes, great point. Subconscious, all subconscious, all you. Fantastic point, Meatball. You did it again, man. That's the attraction factor that I learned about synchronicities, and basically, it's your beliefs about yourself, how you feel about yourself, your emotions about yourself. This is what you attract to yourself. It's that the inside that we don't see. The subconscious mind is storehouses from our experiences, our failures, our sadness, what we've been through, what has hurt us the most. That kind of conquers the conscious mind because the subconscious mind doesn't realize it's fact or fiction. It just goes by what you tell it. As I said before, here in a lot on America's Newscape and America's Mentor, your mind doesn't control you, it takes commands from you. So, what you put in that every single day with your repetitious thought is what you send out every day with your repetitious thought. Therefore, if you're getting red flags, if you're getting situations that don't match who you are, you got to look in deep. You got to look deep within that subconscious mind, as you brought up. Great point.
Well, maybe, maybe I'm not a narcissist, and maybe singing in the mirror, I'm too sexy for my shirt, actually helps me with this theory.
Well, but did now you mentioned singing in the mirror?
Well, yeah, yeah. I don't really look in the mirror.
What
I
the hell are you singing in
was,
the mirror for, Meatball? What are you singing about?
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
But yeah, they call that the mirror technique.
Yeah.
Mirror technique is what life is giving you from what you're giving it. And this is the beauty of quantum science, of metaphysics. It's what you can't see that's creating it. And metaphysics is beyond the physical. And when you realize you're a power source, you're just a magnet to your thoughts. You're going to start acknowledging what you're thinking about, most importantly, what you're bringing about. That mirror technique is amazing because by you reiterating that happy self, and whether it's through singing, dancing naked, I don't know what the hell you do over there in the desert, man, but whatever makes you happy, praying to a watermelon, who cares? Whatever makes you happy, you're going to bring more of that. And a lot of people got to understand we've been tricked. We've been totally duped to act a certain way, a proper way, a way society accepts us. But you're going to attract the right people by who you are. So if you're not being who you are, you can only attract those that people's, how should we say, the red flags, the one that don't fit your narrative. And you wonder why you're getting hurt because you're not being yourself. If you're not being yourself, you're going to attract the wrong self to yourself.
Well, we all have to be reactive, but we don't have to be reactionaries. And when I say reactionaries, I'm talking about people that are so susceptible to outside influences, such as
Oh,
media, even listening to us. If you're a reactionary living and dying by what you and I say, then you may find yourself in some trouble. But you have to be reactive. You have to know where you are, what you're doing, what you're projecting, and
oh, great.
harness. That you cannot love yourself too much, because that when you accept that and that becomes part of your persona, that you will start projecting, and others will see you that way too.
And it becomes an anchor of thought,
Hmm.
and
Absolutely.
that anchor, I mean, to simplify this in the most humorous way, this new place that I'm in, the studio for America's Mentor, our home that Tori and I have, I mean, I walked out in the living room, and this is so simple, but it's so practical on how our lives are. What we verbalize, we actualize, and what we're feeling on the inside. To me, I have the most amazingly huge new living room without half the furniture. Man, I got to go out and make investments. I got to buy more stuff for it. But the point being is, I walk out there, I say, this room drives me crazy. How am I going to design it? And what do? I knock out the cable. I trip the wire, knock the internet down. Victoria's laughing at me. I said, "Look what I just manifested."
Yeah, there you go.
This is what I mean. You're right. Conscious thought. I mean, so there was a lady at work the other day. I love these little segments because it'll wake people up. These breadcrumbs will help people understand. A lady at my job spilled her coffee. And I said, "Why are you so frustrated?" She goes, "How did you know?" I said, "Because if you got frustrating thoughts, if you're carrying frustration, anger, stress, you're going to only create more of that. Hence, spilling coffee, doing so. This is synchronicity at its finest. It's life waving the big red flags. They stop thinking about and feeling what you're thinking about. And when people can grasp that, even I got to learn the hard way, Meatball, and knock out my cable, got to rewire everything because guess what? I told it, it drove me crazy. Therefore, it just answered my call.
Yeah, yeah.
So you start doing that with your dreams and you start sending out vibrations like that. Imagine what you can manifest from it.
Well, absolutely, because in reality, you're very happy with your new living room, but
I am. I just opened
but
my big mouth, man.
you had it
Oh,
too good.
was I sucking wind for an hour? That's what
But
happens. I mean, all I can do is laugh. But go ahead.
yeah, but you laughed then, and you're laughing now about it, and that's life. And and
Great point.
we catch ourselves doing that. I have days where I just drop things. I'm not having micro strokes. I'm just so busy doing everything else that I forget to hold on to what the hell I have in my hand.
You just
And
coined the phrase of a health condition.
well, yeah, of many,
I love it.
but
Good on you. Good. Good.
but I don't stress it because there's no point in stressing it. I don't get
Well,
angry. I clean up whatever I dropped and I get back after it.
oh man. See, with me, I laugh at things like that because I realize I created it.
Yes.
And this is great because then you can change it. When you acknowledge something, it's like driving in reverse on the highway. It's not going to work, meatball. You got to turn the car around. And our same thing with our thoughts. If you realize you're doing something wrong after the experience, say, "Oh, this is called wisdom."
Yeah.
And as simple as it is, you don't walk into a situation, talk negative about it, and expect a positive outcome
Right.
because
Absolutely.
your verbiage is just telling the universe this is how you feel about it. And indeed, I just got answered the call. As simple as it was, but it's a powerful point for people to realize when you get control of what you're thinking about, you get better control of what you're bringing about.
Well, absolutely. If you want to have a miserable time at a social event and you're being drugged there and you don't want to go, you're going to guarantee yourself if you're worried about having a miserable time, you will indeed have one.
Yeah, I mean, life is constantly warning us, whether we answer the call or not, and it's warning us coincidentally by our thoughts.
Hmm.
If you're having a bad day, what are you thinking about all day long? If you're bringing bad scenarios all day, what are you thinking about all day long? Because from that thinking, you're sending out feelings and emotions with those thoughts. And to me, here's another. I mean, it's hard for people to grasp. I get it, but if you're believers in karma on other people, believe that karma in yourself. You're only getting back what you're sending out. So realize, I mean, my car many moons ago when I was moteling it, man, back then I was doing the motel thing for about a decade. I I got so petrified because I was worried about going to work and my car would break down. And guess what it did?
Yeah, exactly.
It just within a week, the engine light comes on, the smoke is here. I mean, it's amazing. It's hard to believe, but you don't have to believe it. You don't have to understand it. It's like turning on a light switch. You don't understand electricity, even you can't even see it. But point being is you don't have to understand it. What I'm saying is try it. You spend a day in a powerful thought mood of your dreams and your wants and your desires rather than your past, your experiences, your stress, and your failures. I mean, it's going to start manifesting for you. Those are the breadcrumbs that you're leaving behind that are going to get anchored into a more positive thought pattern, therefore, a better life pattern.
So, in essence, the red flag is finding yourself wallowing in misery or wallowing in negative thoughts.
Red flags are an indication that your thinking sucks.
Yeah, well, okay.
And that you're attracting the wrong people, you're attracting the wrong situations. As explicit as I made it sound, it has to be that way for people to get it. You can't blame life anymore for your situations. You've got to look and grasp the mirror effect of what you're projecting, which is coming back to you.
Yes.
This is why you can laugh at tripping or having would you say, a mini stroke?
Well, maybe. Maybe.
It's all about you. Life is all about us creating our next experience. This is the beauty of life. We're just creating experience after experiences. If you're getting red flags because you don't feel right what's going on, because you're not thinking right, and life is just warning you with situations and circumstances to match your constant thought. So if what you want is happening, keep doing it. If what you don't want is happening, understand it, laugh at it, and realize, oh wow, look what I just created. A synchronicity of something that I really don't want in life. When you realize that, that's the transformation. That's the epiphany that'll wake you up saying, wait, I'm just attracting the wrong people in my life by my perception of my past feelings of other people. You change your perception, you change your outlook, and that will attract different people to match your narrative. not their narrative, not the narrative you're sending out as the insecure person, only attracting insecure people. It's a positive narrative that's attracting a positive charge. You keep doing that every day, you can't help but to manifest what you want, man.
Well, absolutely. Negativity need not apply here. And
Hmm. Great point. Yeah, if it doesn't give me peace, I don't want any part of it. I really don't. That's why I love you. You're awesome.
well, I'll sing that into the mirror. And no, but it's something that we've both learned in our own way via our own paths, and I think it helps us. It helps us deal with the challenges that are going to be around the corner because we're not sure what they are, but we've built the foundation to cope with them as they come.
You don't know what they are, indeed, which is a great point. But we also are creators of that in a lot of ways. Indeed, there's many forces out there. I'm not going to explain it because I don't understand it. But what I do understand is my own power. And what I've understood through this last decade of practice and failure, success and failure of using the universe or God, if you will, whatever you want to call it, um, as my co-pilot. And whatever I do in life, life has completely turned around from where it was. I'm still working the same. I'm still working my butt off every day, but happily doing it now. I'm receiving what I want now. I change my attitude on life, and I now red flags don't seem to happen because now you're an attraction force that aren't going to bring up the red flags by your thought of your life. But people make life so hard, man. This is what I did for that longest time. I was making life so hard when life is really easy. It's just how we were taught to think in life, which made it so hard because we don't understand it. That's why we think it's life's fault. But we have to look in the mirror and realize we've ingested all that garbage of opinions and narratives of other people about us. We actually start believing it. We're all beautiful, man. We're all special. That's why we're
Absolutely.
all unique. We got a fingerprint, Meatball. This is why there's no one else just like us in life. So we learn a certain way and we approach life in that certain way. We're going to attract that certain way. And I had a pause for thinking.
Well, you did. You
Kind of
overwhelmed.
petered out as I went in.
Well, no, you called yourself a snowflake, but a good type of snowflake.
You got to put that effect in the post.
But you're
Jerry's
right.
snowing.
Everybody should feel beautiful and learn to accept that, and it just makes life. It makes it an adventure.
But the question is, how do you change it?
Mind over matter.
Mind creates matter.
There you go.
How about that narrative? I mean, this is a great way to end our little happy talk here.
Okay.
The way I changed who I was to who I am now was just telling myself that every day,
Hmm.
telling myself who I was, anchoring that mirror effect by constantly saying what I wanted, who I am, where I'm going, what I'm creating on a constant level. Therefore, you're just reprogramming your mind. It's all about installing new software into that mindset that we have every day and not to put ourselves back into that old narrative of living, like watching the news, believing other people's opinions about us, not shutting the world out, but creating our world from within that's attracting back to us what we are. You keep doing that every day, but you got to affirm it. You got to reinforce it. That's why they reinforce concrete with rebar to make it stronger. Our thoughts are the same thing. You keep saying the same thing, you're going to get stronger at it emotionally, physically, spiritually. You're going to manifest what you want in life, and if you keep doing even more, you're going to watch out of thin air exactly what you were thinking about.
Well said, Jerry. Those affirmations are important. So, that being said, everybody, this has been Just in Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you meatball therapy. Thanks for joining us. Remember additional
You're talking
information.
very strong.
I am. It's a melody. And links are provided in this video's read more. Today's the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.